the early to mid 90s with Rollerskate Skinny. I read something there not too long ago, and it said, I'm going to, just in case I get it wrong, it was some bands slowly develop their sound and make a few records before hitting their stride, but Rollerskate Skinny came out exploding with a mad energy. And that's exactly what Shoulder Voices has. It is a mad energy. It's
It was definitely mad.
Well, was there a sense of kind of, I guess, madness so in when you were writing, when you were recording the record? Because even listening to it now,
Yeah,
it's not easy listening.
No, it's not. Yeah, it was a very difficult experience actually, because I was thinking about doing this. It's over 20 years ago, isn't it? It was everybody in the band. The band was about to break up every week, and nobody was getting on. And then we just decided to make a record, and we just the studio was booked 4 weeks in advance, and then we just picked the 2 best songs and went in and recorded it with no plan. Like, there was no kind of build up to the album. It was the latest songs we had. So, you know, usually the band, you build up, your first album would be a collection of songs that you're developing. We had a collection of songs, but when we came to record, we just picked the first songs we had on our demos, went in, did it for 4 weeks, came back out, album was finished.
And I mean, one of the things when the name Rollerskate Skinny comes up, and it comes up rather a lot,
Yeah.
more than you would probably realise, is outsiders. They weren't kind of in keeping with what was going on in Ireland at the moment, at that time. Did you kind of feel a little bit removed around this time about what was coming out of Ireland and the UK?
Yeah, well, no, not the UK. In Ireland, we deliberately, we moved from Dublin to the UK, and we wanted to be part of the British music scene. We didn't want to be, it sounds a strange thing, but we didn't want to be part of the Irish music scene. We thought it was a bit too small, so we had no interest in it, and it kind of had no interest in us. I remember like Hot Press seemed to ignore Rollerskate Skinny for some reason, and the first reviews that we got were in British music magazines, which is kind of bizarre when you think about it. Like, we were getting around the 90s there was a group of bands like the Boo Radleys, there was the Verve and Mercury Rev, and then My Bloody Valentine had just kind of stopped. So we were kind of part of that movement, so we were very much kind of one of those bands really. So it was actually quite a nice thing to be part of a movement. And before the record, we actually had, I was thinking about this today, we had a load of critical acclaim. Like, we were in every British newspaper. We had a lot of reviews. It was going really well. It's like what you were saying, everything was going well at the start. And then as soon as you released the record, our kind of status in the papers went from here just down to 0. We couldn't get any reviews. You know? So the album kind of killed our kind of music career straight away.
Okay.
So I always like to end on a pleasant note. Yeah, so it was a very dark experience, you know. And then when it kind of, the press were expecting a different type of record to be released, so we kind of released a more moodier record than we were doing beforehand. So it didn't kind of work for the press in the UK. But when we went to America, they had no kind of expectation of us. And the album started to take off in America. And it took off in America. It started to take off a little bit in the UK then.
If I could just move on to Thurston and speak about the end of the beginning, the debut album from God is an Astronaut. I mean, every time I hear it.
It could have happened, but I have to ask my therapist next week.
But, I mean, as I said...
I did get moved in New York, actually, now you mention it. Jesus.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
The guy, I'm sure, had a gun, but he didn't take it out.
Were you angry young men around the time that you were recording Shoulder Voices? Because it sounds that there seems to be kind of a frustration or an anger there, or something there.
Yeah, I was never angry. Ken was kind of angry, the singer, you know. I suppose, like, he wrote about it in his songs. I think something in his family. He seemed to get on very well with his family. The thing that kind of united me, Ken and Steve is that we're very, I'm kind of laid back most of the time, but when we played music together, we were very intense. And it wasn't something we were trying to do, it just kind of happened. So it was, like, I remember playing a gig and looking over, and Ken had a microphone and he was hammering it into the ground, screaming like, into the ground. And it wasn't pretentious, it was just him expressing whatever was inside of him. And I was kind of doing something similar with the guitar. I remember one time playing the guitar and getting so kind of lost in the music that I have an American Strat. And it's worth like $5,000. And it's the only guitar I had, and I had the neck on the ground, and I was actually lying on the body, whereby it was like a yoga move. I was up off the ground, like this, trying to get a sound out of it. And the neck could have snapped. I wouldn't have been able to replace it, but it was just the kind of energy that band created. And people used to think we were on drugs, we just had 2 or 3 drinks before we went on, So there's something very deep inside all of us that was anger, just I think just temperament. We were kind of we were wild, basically, wild.
Well, this saw you, after this you did Lollapalooza, you toured in the States. Because I remember you just weren't seen in Ireland for a number of years.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about some of those tours.
Well, see, at the time, that was before Lollapalooza. I remember, like, the kind of strange thing about Steve was saying, like, being in a band, like, all of a sudden it's going really well, and it changes really suddenly. And we were really, like, after My Bloody Valentine, we were the most critically acclaimed band in England. Like, it was incredible. And as soon as we released the album, it was just nothing, like. And that's it's a weird thing to experience that. But in America, people seem to like us. And I remember reading in the New York Times that Perry Farrell from Jane's Addiction was asked about Nirvana playing and all that, and he said he wasn't too interested in it, he was interested in Rollerskate Skinny. And I think, fucking hell, wow. And the people from Lollapalooza just rang. I actually took the phone call, they just rang me up and said, do you want to do Lollapalooza? And we always had a thing, if someone rings, you say yes if it's a gig, and then we'd have a think about it later. Like, so a lot of people would ring us up because they wanted us to play. So when we went to America, we actually had an audience in America. People were turning up to shows in America, which is, I remember playing in a venue in New Jersey, and we were supporting someone who was doing well in MTV, I don't know who it was. And it was only like a Baggett-sized venue, but it was sold out, and the guy in the door would ask people to mark the band they came to see, and 90% of the people came to see Rollerskate Skinny, and he said we could have sold that place out 3 nights, So something kind of happened in America, which is, but we never exploited it because we just imploded.
Well, the bands do implode sometimes.
We really
hear the
implode.
stories. But
It's better if we exploded than imploded.
Can I play something off this album? I've got
Yes,
side
please.
1 lined up, but it's your call.
Violence to Violence is my favourite song.
Okay, hang on. Bear with me, please. Say something interesting while
Yeah,
I muddle along with
the
this.
intro to Violence, I love it because we could actually play it perfectly live because we wrote it in the studio, and it was kind of influenced by classical music. So there's a lot of classical influence, even though it's a very loud, noisy record. So that's why I like it so much.
You're going to get a bit of a startup noise here, sorry.
I can see where you're asking about anger, actually. Fuck me, that's very intense.
It is. I've never heard it quite in speakers like this.
Yeah. It actually, that song actually charted. It actually got into British. Well, the EP got into the British charts.
Really?
Yeah.
We're talking 93, 94?
Yeah, I know people don't know that's weird, and it was actually one place above Oasis. They did go on to sell quite a few records after that, but
They did.
and that was the only kind of peak we had, like so.
Well, this gentleman's sitting beside you. I know he's a fan of the band as well.
Big time, yeah.
What is it about them that struck you when you first heard them?
It just seemed to be operating on its own plane. You could tell immediately it wasn't trying to copy anything else. It had its own energy, its own influence. When I remember hearing Dave Fanning at the time playing, it was Horse Drawn Wishes, that album, and playing nearly every song. I remember just my jaw dropped. I'd never heard anything like that. It was almost like, on one hand, there was so much sound on it and I couldn't take it in one listen, which really intrigued me. And it was almost like there was 5 songs playing at once. I listen to it now and I don't know how I even picked it up that way at the time, but I'd never heard anything that was layered as much of that in my life. It was like intense. And just the melodies, you know, with all the weird dissonant sounds, there was still fantastic melodies going on there. It was really just a record of its time. I put it up there with Heartworm from Whipping Boy. It's one of the top records, I think.
When we touched on a lot going on earlier on. There's a lot going on on the songs or pieces of music. Maybe they're not songs. I don't know. They're whatever they are. They're wonderful on the end of the beginning. Sometimes when you don't have vocals, you know, for someone like me who isn't very, I don't know how music is made. I couldn't write a song if somebody had a gun on me, you know. So, but it's hard to pick up some of the things that maybe the music is about. But the one thing you do pick up from the songs from the end of the beginning is there's a melancholy and there's a darkness. And I know there is a story behind some of them.
Yeah, I mean,
The first EP that we released, and he said that it was one of those reviews you couldn't tell if you liked it or hated it, and he just completely took the piss out of it. And he said he couldn't tell what speed you're supposed to play it at. And we thought that was a compliment because when we were actually playing in Fail at one time, one of the guys who ran this kind of place that we're staying in some part of the castle, the kids were playing the same EP at a different speed, our EP, and they preferred it at a slower speed, like, yeah. Actually, I remember when it was the day before it was released, this EP, the first EP, we were coming back from rehearsal in Camden Town. We went into this record shop we used to pass by, and I was in the bargain basement bin the day before it was released. I was just like, it just made me laugh. Like Ken was, his head was right. I just pissed myself laughing. How the fuck did he get there the day before? So,
You shouldn't laugh.
oh no, it's really funny. I thought it was hilarious. Like, but that actual, it's because it got bad reviews when that came out, and by the end of the year, it got one of the records of the year in the Melody Maker. So the reviews go up and down. You can't listen. If something is good, it's good, and you can't give a fuck about reviews. Like,
Steve, I think the smile is about to fall off your face.